Welcome back to New Rockstars. I am Eric Voss, and this is a frame-by-frame breakdown of every detail you missed in the official trailer for Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four First Steps. From all the design choices in this alternate universe 1960s New York to the incredible attention to detail in Galactus, The Thing, Herbie, and just a lot of crazy, creepy clues that I found in this trailer. I just gotta share it all with you as we look ahead to this launch in July. And I am wearing our Fantastic Four inspired Fired Up shirt, part of a new amazing collection of shirts and other products available exclusively at our merch store, nerdriot.shop, the best way to support us here at New Rockstars. Okay, let's dive into this trailer.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7, on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
The trailer opens with elevator doors opening up to the penthouse level of the Baxter Building, headquarters of the Fantastic Four. In the background of the skyline, we see this alternate universe Manhattan, including the Chrysler Building and a series of new retro-futurist towers and spires. Designs that director Matt Shakman said were inspired by artists like Sid Mead. This movie is set in an alternate universe, separate from the primary 616 Marvel Cinematic Universe, in which the Fantastic Four are already celebrity astronauts and superheroes in New York in the year 1963. And we get that year in particular from a specific issue of Life magazine that appeared in the first official character artwork released 1 year ago, which was a real issue of Life with President Lyndon B. Johnson on the cover.
Okay, hold on. So 616 is the cinematic universe word. So 616 is the cinematic universe. So they in a whole different universe, fucking shit up. And it's back in the day? Or is like their universe like present day back in the day?
From December 1963. Marvel Studios is setting this film in an alternate universe for a few reasons. One, to give themselves a clean slate of a Marvel history unaffected by any of the 20th century events they gave us the 616 Infinity Saga. Two, in order to reimagine a true Marvel universe that more accurately reflects the Silver Age Marvel heyday from the 1960s, in which Stan Lee and Jack Kirby creations like the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man, X-Men, Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Black Panther revolutionized not only Marvel's brand, but comic books as a medium and an industry. And three, to establish a lived-in Marvel Elseworld as we tread forth into this multiverse saga and to meet other multiversal heroes ahead of the crossover events like Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Really, they're just trying to build up a world that they can destroy without affecting the rest of their canonical history. Yes, as bright and beautiful as this version of Earth is, there is a good chance it is doomed for an apocalyptic event, and this Fantastic Four might have to leave it behind through a rift in the multiverse. This shot of the elevator doors opening might recall shots of elevator doors opening to the penthouse suite of Avengers Tower.
Say, this is what I'm saying. Shit. Oh man, hold on. I got time with it.
Of elevator doors opening to the penthouse, and I think opening the trailer with this angle is meant to kind of pose the question: what if instead of Tony Stark's Avengers Tower?
Yo, or they have like, bro, is it like great minds think alike type shit? Because like this is like very like similar like to Avengers Tower. Facts. Word. You see, I feel like they should have put the 8 inside of it, bro. I feel like if they put the 8 inside of it, like it would have been like cooler, you feel me? Or like, I don't know, to me it looks like an eagle, bro. It looks like a bird's head, like sticking its tongue out, like.
The Marvel home base was Reed Richards' Baxter Building. Reed Richards, Pedro Pascal, and Sue Storm, Vanessa Kirby gave a press tour of their penthouse, part of a somewhat awkward publicity stunt. As we'll see in this trailer, the cost of fame is a core theme of the Fantastic Four, as they were one of the first Marvel heroes to present themselves to the public unmasked. Reed Richards chose to do this in support of his best friend, Ben Grimm, who, unlike the other three, was unable to hide his superpowered nature. After Ben's childhood of anti-Semitic bullying on Yancey Street, Reed had all four of them go public so that Ben now would not feel so isolated, which is a major sacrifice because it means constant media appearances and inviting the press and public into their private lives and putting themselves and their home in the crosshairs. The title First Steps has a number of possible meanings. Matt Shakman told our colleague Brandon Davis at San Diego Comic-Con last summer that it was inspired by the NASA Apollo missions, but also had some other mystery reason he didn't want to say yet.
Tell me what that title
kind of we should take away from that?
Well, I mean, there's definitely a few meanings to it that I can't really talk about, but there's also the general meaning, which is like space race, 60s, Neil Armstrong, you know?
That other reason,
Now, I listen, man. If it's a space race happening, I think they are far ahead. Like, yo, that spaceship looks out of this world, bro.
I believe, is the mysterious "it gets personal" verbiage in the official synopsis that Marvel Studios has released for this film. And maybe it's just because my 14-month-old son is reaching this stage, but I think there's a good chance it refers to the first steps of a baby child. Like, we don't see him in this trailer, but Reed and Sue's son in the comics is Franklin Richards, and he is rumored to appear in this film, possibly also their daughter Valeria Richards. And both kids are pretty important to the future of Marvel lore. Franklin Richards is an Omega-level mutant and a reality warper. Some theories have speculated that baby Franklin could be why Galactus is targeting Earth. Actually, there could be an important clue here, because look at Vanessa Kirby's walking behind Reed right as he says Sunday at 7.
Every week, Sunday at 7, on the dot, no matter what.
Yeah, there is kind of an unforced, awkward wobble as she leans her shoulders back.
Yeah, I was thinking when I first saw it, I thought like he was talking to her, and she was his like assistant or something, but he like actually talking to the other guy.
As if she really might be carrying some extra weight that we just don't see in this shot. Could this trailer shot have been manipulated with VFX to hide a baby bump? In fact, inviting the press into their home as
Oh, she pregnant? Oh, she pregnant in the movie? Oh, okay. Yeah, that was like a little strange. But like, cause like. Oh, so he's like part of the press. Oh, he's a part of the press. Yeah, he's a part of the press. Is he a part of the press, or he like, what is he, like an accountant or something? Nah, he gotta be part of the press. Facts. Word. Okay.
as awkward as it is, could be Reed's way of
Bro,
reassuring the
what the fuck? What do I get that from, bro? I need that cake razor, bro.
public that despite being celebrity superheroes who face constant danger, they are still capable of maintaining a stable home environment for a baby.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7, on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
Yeah, he says we're all here, even the little bun in the oven, perhaps. Also, some have pointed to this shot later in the trailer that looks like Sue's baggy shirt could be covering a bump, but when it comes to this kind of thing, I'd rather my analysis just be based on like an awkward stepping by the actor than like a Daily Mirror front page. Like, oi, is that baby under there? Matt Shakman, who directed WandaVision for Marvel Studios and earned praise for his capturing of authentic 1960s aesthetics and tones, and we should note a pregnancy subplot, he has said that this movie will not be an origin story for the Fantastic Four, that the story of the 4 test pilots going up into space and then getting blasted by cosmic rays and then returning to Earth with the powers of elasticity, invisibility and shield projection, fire and flight, and rocky invulnerability and strength. All of that is pretty well known from the comics and animation and the films from the Fox era, 2005's Fantastic Four and 2007's Rise of the Silver Surfer, both directed by Tim Story, and 2015's Reboot directed by Josh Trank, all 3 of which we have broken down on this channel. Matt Shakman said to Entertainment Weekly after revealing the initial concept previs footage at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, they had a flying V at Comic-Con, man. What the hell? Yo. Oh, that was the V that was driving? Bro, the V flies. The V flies, bro. What? The V flies? Yo, the V flies, bro. What? Bro, the V flies. The V flies. Yeah, it was like hell with all that traffic bullshit. The V fucking flies, bro. So I'm okay. I have a question. Like, did like Reed and the Fantastic Four single-handedly like retroize all of New York City, or is it like a bunch of scientists doing this stuff, or is it just like him? He was like, cause he on like some whole other shit type shit.
One of the things we decided early on was not to do an origin story. Then you're making up your new story starting basically at the end of the first act. Mm-hmm. And we thought, well, let's just start this thing off on a completely new foot. And so we are beginning after that.
And before we move on, the Marvel Studios title card on blue renders the letters of MARVL on these like fold out diagonal panels, which is inspired by Hollywood's Cinerama Dome, which actually opened in that same year of 1963. Now, this might only matter to LA area cinephiles, but the Cinerama Dome had been in the past part of ArcLight Cinemas and sadly never reopened after the pandemic shutdown. But there have been some reports of a possible reopening in mid-2025. And God, I hope Disney finds a way to make this happen for the Fantastic Four First Steps premiere this summer. All right, moving on.
Herbie, how's that sauce coming? Yeah, I'll be the judge of that. Okay. Okay, is this guy good or what? I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's...
Yo, does he take double A batteries, bro? Does he take double A batteries, man?
It's just, I just want to add a little bit of zip, okay?
The trailer now changes its aspect ratio from 4:3, 16mm film style used in the type of documentaries in that era to a modern cinematic widescreen. But I love that you can still see the little burned off edges into the film celluloid to kind of give this newsreel footage a bit of texture. And we angle up on the Baxter building, which is curved and has a large 4 on the edifice and a large gap in the middle. Later aerial shots of this trailer show that the Baxter building is right up against the East River and connects to a tarmac that bridges to a rocket launch pad in the river. A Fantastic Four fan that was released at San Diego Comic-Con included an official art rendering of the Manhattan of this film, and from that we know that this launch pad is called the Excelsior launch pad. And Excelsior is of course the New York State motto meaning ever upward and Stan Lee's famous catchphrase. Michael Giacchino composed the music for this movie, and I think it might be up there with one of the all-time best movie scores for a superhero film, and I think they actually reached out to him because he scored Pixar's Incredible.
Bro, yo, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough. That is tough, bro.
And that movie's director, Brad Bird, totally imagined as like a Pixar version of the Fantastic Four with a family with similar power sets. But for this score, Giacchino clearly structured the music around the number 4, the opening choir vocals chanting 4 repeating notes, sounding like bubbles popping, like ba boom ba ba bum boom ba ba, which then builds into this 4-note theme that incorporates all the sections. Bum 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 bum.
Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And then it all builds to this crazy choir cacophony of Fantastic Four. It's just incredible, and I can't wait to hear it.
Bro, I'm happy like I could like cuz in opera, bro. You know like how many times like I watch a movie and they had like opera like music, but it's like always like you know like in a different language and you like it sounds cool. So for a long time I thought like opera music was just like you just had to like to speak like a different language for it to be opera. So there is American opera music. That's what's up. It's tough.
Like a Dolby Cinema. And here we get our first official look at Herbie, aka humanoid experimental robot B-type integrated electronics. Herbie was first introduced in the Fantastic Four 1978 animated series as a replacement comic relief character since the Human Torch could not appear in that show since Johnny Storm was optioned at the time to appear separately in a solo film. There was an untrue urban myth that claimed that the Human Torch was left out due to some fears that kids would try to set themselves on fire, but that was not the reason why he wasn't in the show.
Bro, is Robert in this movie? Yo, bro, what if Galactus just like eats Earth for like an afternoon snack, bro? Yo, what if he just eats Earth for an afternoon snack, bro? What? Yo, what if he eats Earth for an afternoon snack and then he burps off Doctor Doom, bro? He just like, bleh, and the Doctor Doom just flies out his mouth. What? Yo, that's fucking scary, bro. Yo, why is he the bad guy in this movie? That's some scary ass shit.
Following year, Herbie was given a role in the comics and given an origin as a creation by Reed Richards and Master Zar of the Xandarians, who had intended this robot to help with the search for Galactus. Herbie looks like an incredible practical effect here, with rotating analog disc eyepieces and 2 rising and lowering central mouth knobs that give this robot a facial appearance that can handle a smile.
Bro, can I do a DJ set on his face, bro? Can I just like Yo, can I put 2 CDs and just start like a whole party, bro? Like, what? Does he like connect to like the freaking speakers, bro? And what type of batteries does he take? Does he take AA, AAA, like them big block ones, like 4 or 8 of them? Like, bro.
Or a frown, or like a Charlie Brown zigzag, and then these eyes that can literally eye roll, as Herbie appears to do with Ben when Ben throws more garlic in the sauce. Herbie speaks with some robot chirps that are similar to droids like Chopper from Star Wars that you can kind of sense what they might be saying underneath the modulation. In fact, I think they say pretty good when Ben asks how the sauce is coming.
Herbie, how's that sauce coming? Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
Now, some had thought that Herbie might be voiced by Natasha Lyonne, but now I'm thinking she's gonna be playing some other character. Okay, but let's talk about Ben Grimm, the Thing. He's played in this movie by Evan Moss-Bachrach. Inevitably, when characters like this show up in trailers, sections of the internet default to shitting on it, having no reason to do so other than their own dissatisfaction with everything. But let's break this down by A, character design, B, texturing, C, animation, D, sound mixing, and E, performance. From a character design standpoint, Ben is given a thick brow layer that shadows his tiny
awesome, bro.
eyes,
That's
similar to
cool.
the Alex Ross rendition of the Thing. A brow so thick that it even changes the silhouette of his overall head, as when we see Ben later in this trailer. And that differentiates this look from the 2005 and 2007 practical suit worn by Michael Chiklis, which really bulged out Chiklis's jaw and in my opinion made him look kind of less intelligent, like a, Neanderthal. It also differentiates him from the fully CGI 2015 redesign, which was, I think, an improvement that accentuated the cheekbones of the character, but also forced Ben Grimm to be naked for a lot of it. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. There's a lot going on right now. Question any personal work. They help make sure therapists on their platform help.com by the 1980s John Byrne era of the Fantastic Four, but with the baby blue tones from the Lee and Kirby era. It's kind of the best of both worlds. And I get that for some viewers, any CG rendered character design in which the eyes are just too small in proportion to the rest of the face, or just like too humanoid, might just remind you of ugly Sonic and you can't do anything about it. But I'm here to tell you that not every small-eyed CGI character qualifies as Uncanny Valley. Like Sonic was a cartoon hedgehog. Ben Grimm is a humanoid rock creature. His eyes are supposed to—
I like his build, bro. I like the whole like CGI, everything in his eyes. Like, yeah, I thought he was gonna have some cartoon eyes, bro. I thought he was gonna have like some cartoon eyes, but like, I like that. I like the unibrow, bro. Unibrow is lit, bro. I wish my unibrow was this big, bro. I don't have a unibrow, bro. I wish I had a unibrow, and if I had a unibrow, bro, I would want my unibrow to be that big, where it looks like a fucking baseball cap on top of my head, type shit. Word.
To be small and squinty. And I really just think there's a lot of folks out there on social media who have been conditioned to hate stuff without really knowing much about design, and their tastes are just informed not by curiosity or by any background in art appreciation, but by engagement that they get by shitting on something before it even comes out. But I think from character design alone, I like this approach. The Thing should have a natural squint and a squashed nose, and if you made this guy's eyes bigger, it would be creepy. Yet Evan's eyes are just so expressive that they need to come through at least a little bit. Next, let's talk about the texturing. We know from set photos that they used a practical suit as a reference point, and I think it paid off here. The chunks of his skin all look pretty heavy, very bumpy, rough to the touch, and a specific shade of orange that you would still find. Evan Moss-Bachrach has even said in interviews that they did spend a lot of time in the desert trying to narrow down the perfect rocks for the Thing. Where you might get a little losses in the animation.
Commitment, bro. That is commitment. Wow. Wow. It's commitment, bro. How many rocks they look at? Yo, what?
Specifically, they animated Ben's mouth to move, opening it up to taste the sauce, then talking. They definitely use VFX to animate these parts, and while it blends in well with the rock head, I think it's fair to say that it's a little weird to get a glimpse of a tongue back there. But really, I don't care, because it isn't meant to be analyzed silently to this degree, but really just experienced all together with the sound. And that includes the additional dimension of sound mixing, the rocky clack of his finger hitting his lips, that weird rocky slurp that we hear. the rocky clap of his hands smacking each other.
Okay.
It's all just so fun and so silly, and I love this guy, and I want to hang out with him in a kitchen. And finally, most important, the performance. I now totally understand why they cast Ebon Moss-Bachrach in this role, because this is absolutely cousin Richie from The Bear, uninvited, sticking his gross finger in a pasta sauce, tasting it, having a clear
rock
opinion about
finger,
it. But
bro.
then, and this would be like season 2 or season 3 Richie, withholding his criticism, replacing that criticism with some bro-y praise, and then insisting on adding 2 or 3 whole additional cloves of garlic. Now, I don't believe there can be too much garlic in anything. I love garlic. I'll shove it in a brownie. I'll crush an entire head of garlic for my Caesar salad recipe, but I do split that across like the dressing and the croutons. But we have to say that adding several additional cloves to an already reduced sauce is a choice. But I think the joke here is also that Ben's rock tongue needs more seasoned foods to cut to his buried taste buds. So all in all, this works for me.
Bro.
And mostly
Yo, that's an interesting point. Is this rock tongue like it's, bro? Is this tongue small little rocks? Is it like little tiny little, like sand like rocks, bro? Is this tongue made out of sand? Yo, if his tongue is made out of sand, that's litty. But no, it looks like a regular tongue. But like it's a regular tongue mixed with rocks. Word.
because they found a way to let Ebon Moss-Bachrach's performance carry through. Okay, finally, on to the next
Nah, I
clip.
ain't gonna lie, bro. Like the thing, they did the thing with the thing. Yeah, they did their thing with the thing, bro. That's a cool thing, bro. I think that's the coolest thing, bro. That's the coolest thing that I've seen. Like, it's a cool thing, bro. It's a cool thing. Facts. It's a real cool thing, bro. Yeah, I like the animation, bro. I like how he moves. Like, I like the CGI. I like his eyes, bro. Yeah, they definitely pay like a lot of attention to his eyes. Yeah, he looks like very humanoid. Well, yeah, like facts. He looks like he's cool to like chill with type shit, and he don't look like menacing. He don't look menacing. He don't look like he angry. Well, man, I felt like when he first turned into the rock, well, to the thing, he was an angry rock thing. But then, yeah, because it's not origin story. So yeah, he came down, bro. He accepted his rock self, bro. Dang, bro, that's tough. It's tough being a rock. Actually, it might not. It might not be. Nah, bro, it might not be tough being a rock.
T-5.
Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
All right, in this section, Reed's curved double-layered chalkboard rises up, and this is the floor of the Baxter building that has the 3 eye-shaped windows to it, just to kind of geographically locate us here. Reed also uses a curved chalkboard in his Fantastic Science with Dr. Richards Kids Science TV
what is
program.
he on? What is on this chalkboard, bro? What is he on, bro? He on some whole other shit, bro. What? He got arrows, everything. What?
So in the Comic-Con footage, it allows him to stand close to the board, but also see the other ends of it all at once. Now, to Reed's left on the chalkboard is a diagram that some are calling a multiverse bridge, but I must say that this appears to, in fact, be an Einstein-Rosen bridge or a wormhole that connects 2 holes in space within a single universe, not a multiverse bridge. But Reed did label that plane in this diagram as another universe and the portals as enter and exit. But actually, we do see a real textbook Penrose diagram beneath that. That's the hexagonal figuration with the 2 diamond shapes connected with a squiggly line at the top and a squiggly line at the bottom. The top one for the black hole and the bottom one labeled white hole. In theoretical physics, this is another way to conceive of bending of space-time around black holes and a possible way to connect to a parallel universe. And we already know that Reed Richards in this movie will have an interest in the multiverse, because in that Fantastic Science TV show and the Comic-Con footage, he lectured to the kids, this equation not only confirms alternate dimensions, it suggests that parallel Earths exist on different dimensional planes. So yes, we're in the multiverse saga, and Reed is finding a way to break into the multiverse. Also, in the background of this room behind Reed, there is a model of the Marvel 1 rocket that's above the corner of the chalkboard here, and their Fantastic Four jumpsuits all lined up with helmets showing that these suits are in part their spacesuits as well. Reed and Sue remember
That's a
before we
souvenir
went
right
up the
there.
first time, and we see some stock footage of the 4 before before their initial test flight, but the first time also tells us that the crew will be going up to space again in this movie. And I think this
Damn, how fast they need to get up there though?
mission will be one that confronts them with Galactus and or
Fucking
the Silver
Galactus
Surfer,
coming.
and maybe even
Shit.
runs them into Galactus' ship Ta-2. We see shots of their rocket as it takes off. I believe this is the Marvel 1, the ship the Fantastic Four take on their first flight in the comics. It breaks the sound barrier, and we see chunks of ice breaking off the rocket as it launches, reminiscent of the launch imagery in Ron Howard's Apollo 13, or I'm sure Matt Shackman would say from Todd Douglas Miller's 2019 Apollo 11 documentary, which he had the cast and crew of this movie to watch prior to shooting. Reed and Sue float on a space station as sparks rain down. Now, on the break room episode that you totally have to watch, Evan thought this might actually be a sling ring portal opening, and I love that idea. That is what sling ring portals look like when they first start to form. But based on the context of the scene, I don't know if we would get Wong or Doctor Strange pop in to wherever they are right now. But Sue in this moment flickers in and out of invisibility, and Reed reaches for her face, and her floating hair fades in before the rest of her face appears. And I just
that'd be a sad way to lose your bitch, bro. Like, not even lose, just like misplace, just misplace your bitch, bro. You're like, oh shit, where'd she go? Where'd I put her? Where's she at, bro? Bro, at the same time though, bro. What? Fantastic Four.
Really dig the way Sue's invisibility is depicted in this movie. It's kind of like flickering candlelight illuminating parts of her. And in this case, Reed's touch is what brings her back into visibility. And I just find that really sweet. Now, just to be clear, I do not think this was their original flight that gave them their powers, specifically because Reed and Sue are wearing newer spacesuits that have the 4 branding on them. So that would mean that this would be the later space flight after they became the famous Fantastic Four. We see an overhead shot of Ben Grimm in an alley as 3 other figures run away from him, and then Ben steps up to the shop window to see television sets showing the documentary footage of Ben and Reed before their first flight. There's a jack-o'-lantern to the right of this shop, so
Dang, that's
this
tough,
would be
bro.
around
That's tough, bro. Dang, imagine just walking around like a big ass boulder, bro. Like, at the same time though, I mean, it depends on how that anemone and that the anatomy works. Right?
And think about that. That might be one of the only times Ben Grimm would feel okay walking around the street level of Yancey Street. The San Diego Comic-Con fan art depicted Yancey Street and included Ben's neighborhood synagogue. The TV in its window has a label, Kaplan's Sale Special. And before you get all worked up thinking this is a nod to William Kaplan, aka Wiccan, actually, come to think, we did learn that he came from a New Jersey Jewish family in Agatha all along. That would just be in a different universe. Really, I think this is a nod to the co-writer of this movie, Jeff Kaplan. The old footage of Ben jokes that he's the best looking pilot in the world, and the TV switches off, reflecting Ben's now current ugly rock face staring back at him. But again, Evan's blue eyes really pierce through here, which makes it super noticeable in the next shot when he squints his eyes shut in humiliation.
Yeah, so you feel me? Like, that's tiny little rocks. That's tiny little sand rocks, bro. Oh shit. That's tiny little sand rocks, man. Yo, that's lit. That can't be. That can't be like. That can't be skin. But that's tiny little sand rocks, bro. Alright, is his interior just like regular and his outside just rock, or is it like that both on the outside and the inside?
All right, on to the next clip.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us.
So now we see Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things Season 4 playing Johnny.
That's him. That's him. Yo, he looks so different. Holy shit. Yo, holy shit. Oh shit. Yo. W Johnny Quinn, bro. In the chat. What the heck? Bro. I would have not known. Yo. Oh shit. Yo, that's tough.
Storm, the Human Torch in this movie, Sue Storm's brother. Reed's voiceover says Johnny never.
Yo, what? That's him? That's him? That's him? Ah, shit. That's him? Yo, transformation is crazy. That's him. Yo, this should get my eye again, bro. What? Yo, that's him.
Playing Johnny Storm, the Human Torch in this movie, Sue Storm's brother, reads voice.
That's him. That's him. Oh, yo, that's so cool, bro. That's so cool, bro.
Silver says Johnny never caught fire, which he means is a contrast to Johnny's literal current condition, but I think it's also a statement at how Johnny in the past never really found his groove. But now, right before Johnny flames on, you can see a few decorative pumpkins inside on that table. So again, we're looking at a Halloween time occurrence. And based on where Ben is in his life now, I feel like we might be seeing two different Halloweens in this movie, giving us a sense of the movie's internal timeline. We'll talk about that later, but Halloween, Matt Shakman is directing this, the man who brought Agatha Harkness into the MCU. And we should note that Agatha Harkness's comic introduction to the Marvel Comics was in 1969's Fantastic Four number 94. She was a governess to Franklin Richards before any of us knew that she was a witch. So there is a slim chance that an alternate universe Agatha Harkness could cameo in this movie, and the spooky Halloween time vibe sets it all up. I doubt it, but it is possible. So here Johnny flame-ons into the night, and as he flies in front of the camera, the soles of his feet look like he's still wearing footwear, and when we see him in the upper stratosphere at the end of this clip, we see that he's still wearing his clothes. So these must be specific flame-resistant clothes.
This is some Fantastic Four clothing, nigga. What? Yo, they got their own Fantastic Four clothing, bro.
There's also an effect here where like water droplets appear on the lens, which could be like steam or condensation from the rapid heat transition in the air. And I say that because I think you can see water vapor trails from Johnny's hands as he flies. I really like this detail. Whereas the previous section had Reed fretting about how these space missions changed the four of them in the past, now Sue settles his fears by saying Ben has always been a rock. And the way she says it, it kind of sounds like she's saying Ben has always been our rock. And I just think it's a really sweet sentiment among friends. Sue finds her brother Johnny sitting inverted in his chair. On his side table is a model of a plane because he's always aspired to be a great pilot. I also love the detail that his jumpsuit arm sleeves have scorch marks on them because of course they would. Johnny blasts up toward the moon, and then we see him from the side with a full view of Manhattan and the Hudson River as it snakes north. Technically, we are looking up at Westchester County in this universe's New York. And if this alternate 1963 is technically an idealized Silver Age Marvel universe, a movie co-produced by 20th Century, somewhere down in that valley could be an X-Mansion with Charles Xavier, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Iceman, and Angel, who were part of the original early 60s lineup of the Uncanny X-Men. Sue Storm uses another form of her powers, projecting her shield barrier. It's hard to appreciate such a quick shot, but it pulsates out from her body in waves that bend the light in the electromagnetic spectrum to create this rainbow effect. I love that it's not like an inner color-toned radiation glow. It's just like a color shift caused by her bending the light that's naturally there. Behind her, the Fantastic car is parked, and it looks like Reed and some other authorities are holding the crowd back. There is an RKO Palace Cinema, a Juniper Lounge, and an Embassy Theater that's showing something called Aiden Powers Sub-Zero Intel, and I think that also might be a Doublemint gum ad in the background there. Above Sue is the elevated train line, or the monorail that we've seen in wider shots and in concept art for the city.
Bro, yeah, did he singly like the Fantastic Four did all this, or is it like? I feel like I mean he didn't single-handedly. He probably, bro, yo, NYC, bro, what's up, yo?
One of the support columns looks like it's been damaged, so I'm wondering if a train is headed their way and about to crash, and Sue is going to use her barrier to levitate it to safety. And I
like
love
that look.
and Sue is going to use her.
Yo, that's cool. Yo, I like the way they did that. Like all the halos. Shit look like aura right there, bro. That's some aura. That's crazy. That's crazy aura right there, bro. Look at that. What?
Barrier to levitate it to safety. And I love this shot of Johnny testing his flight powers to try to break Earth's gravity, but finding himself unable to do so and falling back down. In the Galactus storyline that Marvel Studios told us to read for this movie, Johnny Storm goes out to deep space to try to retrieve the ultimate nullifier, a weapon that...
What? Yo, yeah, they done. Yeah, they done. I don't know what they wrote on that board. I don't know what they doing, but they done. Yo, they done put Earth on a freaking silver platter. What
could destroy Galactus's home ship, Ta-2, and a weapon that they ultimately have to use to force him to leave Earth alone. Moving on to the next clip.
We'll face it together. As a family.
All right, here we see the Fantastic Four reacting to a meteor shower. This, I believe, is what leads to Johnny's launch off the balcony in the other shot. And if you look closely at this shot, Ben looks down at a device on his wrist. We got a better look at this device earlier in the trailer when he's tasting the sauce. And while he may just be looking at the time, I'm curious why he would look at a time when they're noticing a meteor shower. So maybe there is some tech on these devices that they all have on their wrists that link the Fantastic Four to like orbital satellites, or maybe the antenna on the Baxter building roof that can measure atmospheric conditions or track cosmic threats.
What?
I think what we are seeing here
Bro, they're taking too long, bro. That shit's right there.
is the atmospheric disturbances that precede Galactus' arrival in the comics that the Fantastic Four discover are really being caused by the Silver Surfer, which then leads to Uatu the Watcher intervening, arriving to warn them about Galactus. Could we see a live-action Jeffrey Wright Uatu in this movie? God, I hope so. Now, we do not see the Silver Surfer in this trailer, but in this movie, it will be Shala Ball Silver Surfer, played by Julia Garner from Ozark. She is a partner to the male Norrin Radd Silver Surfer, and someone who becomes the Herald of Galactus in her own right. But actually, Shala Ball is involved in a plot with Mephisto, and Mephisto was really introduced in Marvel Comics in the 60s as a Silver Surfer villain. Mephisto replaces Shala Ball's consciousness with a Latvian peasant named Helena, with whom Dr. Doom arranges a false marriage to get the Silver Surfer to fight the Fantastic Four. Could we see that storyline with Dr. Doom, Robert Downey Jr. in this movie? Almost certainly not, but it does seem like Shala Ball will be the Silver Surfer of just this universe, while Norrin Radd is going to be the Silver Surfer of other Marvel universes. And Lakeith Stanfield has been rumored for the role based off of social media posts where he said, "I thought I was playing this character," and then quickly had to delete it. But we do expect Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom to show up in this movie, perhaps in a post-credit scene to set up Avengers Doomsday. But we are unsure if this Victor Von Doom will come from this universe's Latveria, or if he's just going to be another Dr. Doom from some other universe who observes.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, didn't he like go on the rocket ship with them? Or was that like in the other movie? It's probably in the other movie.
This universe's destruction. We see a shot of kids in costume as the Thing with these plastic masks looking upward in fear. I assume these are Halloween costumes. And again, back to the two Halloweens of this movie, giving us a sense of the timeline. The first Halloween being when Ben is sad, moping around Yancey Street as a bullied outcast in disguise, looking in at TV footage of his past self that he wishes he still was. And then a later Halloween when Ben is partying in the Baxter building penthouse, when Johnny takes off in flight, and where kids down on the street are dressed up like him, clearly loving him. So that would mean we are getting an internal timeline of this movie longer than 9 months. And that's enough time for a baby Franklin to arrive within this movie's runtime. A quick shot of the amazing, fantastic car zipping down the street with a Chrysler-style cursive logo on the side of it. Now, this car does
fantastic
fly,
car,
but I just love that for now, we don't see it fly. It's just on the road. Where it is going now, it still needs roads.
What the hell is going on here?
Johnny Storm blazes past some rooftops, and there is a billboard on the far right that has a green bottle, and Lord, I hope it's an alternate universe Pingo Dolce. And there's a water tower with this ad: Pop-Tarts, eat 'em, toasted. And toasting being the key word there, because I'm sure Johnny passing it toasts this sign to hell. Then a quick shot of Ben Grimm running down the street. I think he's chasing the runaway elevated train in the same sequence with Sue Storm in the earlier shot. Then a quick shot of John Malkovich as a mystery character. We have speculated characters in the past like Mole Man, who we know will be in this movie based on Subterranea being on that fan, or maybe Susan and Johnny's father, Franklin Storm. But now the popular speculation is that this could be Ivan Kragoff, aka the Red Ghost. The Red Ghost was a Soviet scientist from Fantastic Four number 13 back in 1963 Fury, who is bent on beating the Americans to the moon, and formed a crew of simians, including a gorilla, a baboon, and an orangutan, whom he exposed to cosmic rays and turned into his super apes. So along with Mole Man, whom I now think will be played by Paul Walter Hauser, the thinking is that the first act of this movie could feature the Fantastic Four thwarting several of their early comics villains in a montage, and the campier the better, which could set up a fun excuse for Malkovich to bring
Yo, they on some whole other shit.
back his insane Russian accent from Rounders as KGB Teddy.
Pay that man his money.
Natasha Lyonne and Sarah Niles will also be in this film in unknown roles. Now, Natasha Lyonne recently voiced an original character named Birdie in What If Season 3, who is the love child of Darcy Lewis and Howard the Duck. Yeah. So let's hope Lyonne is playing some other character for the love of God. And then this shot of Manhattan as the shadow of Galactus looms over it.
Wait,
yes! In this
so like, did he just like hit a bodega somewhere? Feel me? Like, it just kept eating that shit. It just kept eating that shit, bro. And then I got fat as fuck, bro.
You can actually see the Excelsior launch pad and the Marvel One rocket on the East River on the right, with the Baxter building facing it. And of course, I was looking for Avengers Tower in the skyline, but you do see the MetLife building here. And in the 616 universe, the MetLife building is where Avengers Tower is. So Avengers Tower might not exist in this universe, or it could just be some other building we can't see
Bro,
here.
bro, like, yeah, it's a very similar design choices, bro. Yo, that's interesting, man. That's interesting.
So you'll notice around the Midtown area, you can see where they added that elevated train loop with the arches supporting it, circling the area at various points. Also, we should note
Bro,
that the
what
San
if they
Diego
just like, they just like come to that universe and it's just like, oh, that's perfect. Like, meanwhile, they think like, yo, bro, like, this is us in this universe. But it's not. And it's like, yo.
Comic-Con fan singled out the Flatiron Building of Manhattan, which in several universes is a building that houses the Daily Bugle offices. And if this is a true Silver Age Marvel universe, shouldn't there be a Spider-Man somewhere in it? Then we get the big shot, the back of Galactus's antlered helmet as he looks down at the Statue of Liberty on Liberty Island. Oh shit! And beyond Liberty Island, you can see a dome in the upper left corner that San Diego fan art labeled a clean energy complex. So Galactus often takes the form of a devourer of worlds, way bigger than a planet, but he is also capable of scaling his size down to be a size where he can like fit within a city like this. Based on his height, it seems like he is wading through the estuary here. Galactus is the devourer of worlds, a cosmic being who was originally Galen of Ta, a backstory created by Mark Grunwald later on, from the 6th iteration of the universe, who survived the big crunch of that universe by gestating inside of a cosmic egg, and then emerged into the 7th iteration of the universe as this godly being who is kind of a cosmic caretaker of dying worlds. He is not a celestial. He does not create any part of the cosmos. He's just like a being who survived different phases of the universe. He goes planet by planet to devour that planet's life force, and he sends before him a herald. Galactus was actually depicted in 2007's Rise of the Silver Surfer as an ambiguous space cloud, but an earlier shot in that film did show Galactus moving past Saturn and casting his iconic antlered shadow on that planet. This is a truly comic accurate Galactus, a tall purple helmet with angular antlers. He's perfect, and I love the details that the VFX artist rendered into this helmet texture, like tiny little glowing window dots and scarring and weathering that makes him look not like a giant smooth toy, but like a massive walking Death Star that has seen some shit and eaten some shit. Now
Bro,
we know.
What if he got like little people in his helmet, like, I don't know, like working on the helmet?
From the San Diego Comic-Con concept trailer that we will see Ralph Ineson's face as Galactus in this movie. There was a shot of him leaning in to look through the penthouse window of the Baxter building.
That's scary as hell. What the fuck? What the fuck? Bro, what are they gonna do? What?
Scaring the hell out of Herbie. So again, why is Galactus targeting Earth?
No, not
Come back to
Herbie,
that
bro.
theory
Leave
that
Herbie
the first
alone.
steps of this movie are the baby steps of the baby Franklin Richards, an Omega level mutant and a reality warper, and that Galactus might need that baby's power to save this universe. And the Fantastic Four would obviously refuse to hand over their kid. But that could be why this trailer ends with
shit.
Sue with tears in her eyes as she declares they'll handle this as a family. Now, I've been pushing for this ever since the trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home, Home, my dream theory is for the Marvel Multiverse to use the Statue of Liberty as a physical anchor point to know what universe we're in, because it has now served as a major set piece in several key Marvel moments. The final battle in X-Men 2000, the first Marvel movie that Kevin Feige worked on, and now
shit.
officially
That's
MCU
pretty
canon
cool.
since Deadpool and Wolverine.
Rest in pieces, Fox.
Also, the final battle of Spider-Man No Way Home, which looking back might have been the moment Doctor Strange and Peter Parker impacted this whole universe with an incursion event, and now Galactus looking over it. The Statue of Liberty represents a gateway to a new world and is one of cinema's most iconic images of immediately telling an audience the status of the post-apocalyptic world that they're in ever since Charlton Heston and Planet of the Apes screamed at it, "You blew it up, damn you! Damn you all to hell!" So, Kevin Feige, please take this idea. It's yours. You can have it. And we're at our final shot. The full lineup suited up, standing on what looks like a TV soundstage, like an Ed Sullivan style TV appearance. And I just noticed that 7 arrows are pointed at their circle. Arrows? What is this? A new Rockstar's thumbnail? Actually, this set design is a specific reference to the Beatles' February 1964 appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show, which was their first ever US TV performance, a historic moment for the Fab Four from the UK making their American debut. And obviously there's a Fantastic Four parallel there too, right? This may remind you of that line in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Fantastic Four. Didn't you guys chart in the 60s?
Now, Steven was just making a Fab Four joke, making fun of the 838 Reed Richards and calling back Strange's uncanny skill at recalling pop music history that we saw in the opening surgery scene of the 2016 Doctor Strange movie. I just like that this movie is like leaning into the parallel of the Fantastic Four as like a Hard Day's Night version of the Beatles. To me, this underlines the real story of the movie, the cost of fame. Reed Richards made the Fantastic Four public figures and celebrities to ease the pain of his friend Ben Grimm, but that increasingly placed a target on them and any future family they could choose to bring into the world. So these arrows aren't just a TV program set piece designed to direct all eyeballs to these four symbolically, they're also arrows firing at a bullseye. And that's why I think the early victories of the Fantastic Four in the first act of this movie could all just be setting up a third act where they fail and have to abandon this doomed Earth in this dimension as Reed has to navigate a new path through the multiverse, ending with this family meeting some 616 heroes that we know. Avengers Doomsday is likely going to be set among the apocalyptic landscapes of several doomed worlds, and I feel like the Earth of this movie dying is how we get there. And in the final cards of the trailer, we see that this movie will be depicted in Fantastivision, and I don't really know what that means, but I feel like a lot of this movie could be a future Foundation documentary of their parents' sacrifice, and that Fantastivision is just kind of like a round-the-clock documentary puff piece of these heroes and how great they are. Now, this trailer came earlier than expected. We still expect Marvel Studios is going to drop 2 trailers during the Super Bowl this Sunday, February 9th. There's a chance we get a shorter 30-second spot of this Fantastic Four footage with different shots, like maybe a look at Galactus' face. Whatever we get, we will be live streaming here on the New Rockstars channel starting an hour before kickoff, so join us for our trailer watch party as we react to everything. Comment down below with your thoughts on this trailer, follow me at EA Boss, and subscribe to all channels in the New Rockstars network for breakdowns and news coverage of everything you love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
But I'll bet the Japanese didn't like it.
So then that means, because they're doing all that, so that means like, this movie's been in production for a minute. Because like, I thought that trailer showed a lot. So they've been working on this like behind the scenes for a minute, bro. What? Damn. Bro, I think superhero movies this year about to be litty, man. It's about to be litty. I think it's gonna like go back like to its status, because like everybody was like, superhero movies, but I don't know, bro. Fantastic Four, new Superman, Captain America, the Thunderbolts, like, damn. I'm excited, bro. I'm excited, nigga. What?